It's Tim Albright with AVNation Special, The Road to InfoComm 2022, headed your way from Vegas the 8th through the 10th of June. With me to talk about their presence in there is Mr. Paul Harris from Aurora Multimedia. Welcome, sir.
How you doing?
I am well. You and I got to hang out in Barcelona this year, and now we are headed to Vegas because we don't travel. We don't go home at all. You guys are in the West Hall, the brand spanking new West Hall. West W919, W919. We walk in there. Obviously, last year at InfoComm, we saw you in Orlando. Lots of really great stuff. So what are we going to see from Aurora Multimedia at InfoComm this year?
Well, I know it seems like forever in the 7-month span between the two shows. So I know it's been such a long time. But
Yes.
Believe it or not, in those 7 months, we designed a lot of products. So we're not only going to show what we showed to the West Coast. So for the West Coast who didn't make it last year's show, we are going to show the new IPX UC1 Ultra, which is a unified communication product, does everything. A 7x4 scalar matrix with PC built into it, does Zoom rooms, full bi-direction over a single cable of 10 gig as well as 1 gig. This thing does everything. It's on our website, but it does everything. It's going to be shipping soon too. The RXT4, which was that 4-inch square in-the-wall touch panel that can also serve up web pages and has like 2 of every port on the back of it, another amazing product. We are also going to be showing the VPX, which is our new latest AV over IP, which will do the 4K 6444 with only 8 watts of power. So that's going to be another really good win for us there. Is showing that product, and that is going to be shipping by InfoComm. So it's really going to do some new things, and we're going to show things that we didn't even show at last year's InfoComm that this unit's going to do, which is really going to separate us from everybody else in the market. So not only can this do everything everyone else does, but it does so much more that other people just can't even do at a low power and a low price point that no one can even match. And we're even going to be showing a new wall plate for this series, which we didn't show in last year's InfoComm, which is a transmitter-only wall plate with 2 HDMI inputs. So we're going to be the only 2-gang 4K 6444 HDMI capable AV over IP product on the market. So that's another big thing for us. Now, as far as new things go, beyond that of what we showed, we are going to be showing a 4-inch desktop. So that's another new little surprise.
Okay.
And it does more than just being a little 4-inch desktop panel. Because some people are like, oh, why a little 4-inch panel? You'll have to wait and see, but it makes a lot of sense. You're going to dig what this thing does. Another thing that we're going to be showing is an 8-inch 16:9 aspect ratio version of the 4-inch. So that's a new add-on to replace our other generation of product. We're also going to be showing a new product called an ASP42. It's a 4x2 HDMI matrix with a capture in it. And then we're going to bring back, for those of you who know our product lines, the Ditto X4, part of the Ditto series. That's a 4x4 scalar matrix and so much more that you'll have to come and see the booth, but that's another new product that we're going to be demonstrating there as well. So quite a few new products, some good heavy hitters that solve problems. Most of them are going to be shipping by the summer, and other ones are already going to be shipping since the last InfoComm. So yeah, we're just overall in general, we are shipping product. We're shipping AV over IP. We're shipping our control system products, our HD-based T. We're moving along. We're doing very well at that, and we're more than happy to convert projects out there, people.
Well, I want to hit on something you said there. Again, you are in W919, W919. You say that you're shipping products. A lot of folks in the industry have been hit with some supply chain issues, right? Whether it's the equipment, the gear is still on the boat somewhere waiting to get into New Jersey or Long Beach, or it's it's still over in the manufacturing facility. Talk for a second about how you've been able to help integrators through some of these supply chain challenges.
So it's a common question people ask us is, how are you able to still ship? It doesn't mean we don't have our delays here and there on certain products, but our delays are pretty minimal. Worst case so far we've hit is a 6-week delay on one of our products.
Okay.
So we've been pretty reasonable overall. The main reason why is, one, we build our own products right here in the building. So about 80% of the products are built right here in New Jersey in our building. We have our own electronics pick and place line. Also, we ordered a lot of parts when we knew this was going to happen over a year ago. So we have a pipeline with parts in it. We also partner, believe it or not, with some of our friendly competitors. We share parts that we might have and they don't, and vice versa. So networking is very important. The other thing is technology. A lot of our EV over IP products are based on ASIC technologies, not FPGA, like some of our competitors. And the problem with FPGAs right now is they're impossible to get a hold of. Microcontrollers, networking PHYs, FPGAs are probably three of the hardest things to get right now in the marketplace, which is creating very long delays for them. But that is one of the reasons is I mean, I'll admit it, by dumb luck, the choices that we made for the type of technologies and the way we designed it worked out advantageous for us.
Yeah.
So it's not that we couldn't have ended up in a similar situation, and at some point we could very well. So as much as I'd love to rejoice in it and say, oh, wow, we're delivering and you're not, ha, ha, ha. No, I'm being a little bit more passive about it. As people come to us, and yeah, we've been winning a lot of projects over now because we do ship. At some point, they're gonna surpass our forecasted ability to produce product. And it's not that we're not making product, it's just that we can only ship out so many of a product and build so many products with our pipeline that we have in place. And it takes, unfortunately now, it could take 32 to 52 weeks to add to your pipeline in addition to that. And people don't realize, a lot of us companies are paying all this money up front. It could take over 200 different parts to build a product. And all it takes is one to ruin your day.
Yep.
And so right now, like for example, I had to buy 3,000 parts that I don't need yet, but I bought it. Why? Because I know it's a hard to get part, and if I don't lay it out, I might not be able to build it. But this is what some companies can capitalize to do it. We are fortunate enough to be able to do stuff like that. And other companies, it's putting up a lot of capital to do that. It can really strain a company, and one wrong move can really destroy a company. Unfortunately, people don't realize the plights of manufacturers. So in a way, yeah, I'm coming to the defense of some of my competition who can't deliver right now. It isn't easy. It is tough. It's not some simple formula. Sometimes when you think you're going to get a part, we've even been subjected to it. Like when we think we're going to get a part, it doesn't show up. And you're like, where's my part? We don't know. It's like, what type of answer is we don't know? Yeah. And then next thing you know, you're sitting on possibly tons and tons of other parts that cost you a lot of money. You already paid the bills on it. And now one part that was supposed to be there didn't show up. And now what do you do to generate capital if you can't ship? So it's a very big plight, and it always, without a doubt, concerns me. Am I going to be that unfortunate? I did have it happen to one product where they delayed me for 6 months on one product. Luckily, it wasn't a high volume product for us, but nonetheless, it did happen to us. So,
real quick before we get out of here, you said that sometimes the delay can be 6 weeks. Hopefully, it's not any longer than that. Tell folks how you communicate that to your dealers, and then how you expect them to communicate that to their clients.
Okay, I tell them buy a year in advance. No, I might as well actually. No, well, right now because we're shipping, we don't have as much of a problem. But what I do tell people to play it safe, because you never know what's going to happen right now, and what's going to happen. I'm not even kidding. In a week from now, somebody could wipe me out of my inventory, and then you're waiting maybe a month or two before you can get the next batch of inventory. It's just the way it is. What I tell people is don't do last minute buying. It doesn't work right now. If anything, most manufacturers will not bill you until it ships. Get your order in, at least it's scheduled in, and get your customers to place the orders sooner than later so you can align all the stuff to be available for you. So that would be one of my advice. The other thing too is notification of the people. I've seen some companies out there, they do a really terrible job, and I don't agree with it, where they'll string customers along, and they'll tell them literally the day before it ships, by the way, we're not shipping. You're going to have to wait another like 3 or 4 months. Stringing along is not good. At some point, you got to cut your losses and say, we're not going to be able to deliver. We understand you might have to go elsewhere. You got to look at the good of the overall health of the industry. Sometimes you just can't have it all. For us, look, we're a manufacturer. We know the best case. We don't know the worst case, but we know the best case. And we know way before, one day before something ships out, that you're not going to have it. So even like I have products that I could throw on the line and have it ready within like a week or two, but it depends on the product. Some you should be able to know at least 2 weeks that if something was scheduled to go on the line, you're waiting for that part to come in and it didn't come in, you know right then and there, this isn't going to happen. It's not looking good. It's got to be rescheduled onto the line. Hopefully you got another date from the supplier when you're going to get the part. So we do know, but we know best case. We just don't know the worst case is the problem. But it's not down to a day. It's usually weeks at least that you should be able to give a heads up to your customer, and sometimes even months, where you just know things are not going to happen. But I'd say reasonably, minimum 2 weeks to as much as 2 or 3 months ahead of time, the manufacturer knows.
All right, very good. Paul Harris, again, W919, W919 is where we will find you at InfoComm the 8th through the 10th of June. If somebody is not going to Vegas in June, how do they connect with you?
So they go to auroramm.com is the best way to get a hold of us. We also will be more than happy for anybody who can't make it to the show for whatever reason. We're more than happy to do online Zoom calls and or just come down there and meet you. We do fly and we do like meeting people. It's always good to see people in person if they want us to. So there's quite a few ways, but we're always available. And me personally, I always make myself available, as everybody who knows me.
Absolutely, it does. And you've got a great army of rep firms out there too. So
yes, we do. We're worldwide. We have a ton of people, especially since it's a USA show. A ton of people across the USA, plus my internal salespeople.
Yep.
We're all here to help.
All right, very good. Paul Harris from Aurora. Again, W919, the brand new West Hall. W919 is where you find them. For us, for AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv. And follow along as we also head to InfoComm 2022, the 8th through the 10th of June in Las Vegas. All that and more at avnation.tv. It's avnation.tv.